welcome to another edition of The Word on Woodward. I'm your host, Daniella alongside my co-host, Art Regner, and joining us today, Wings Forward Sam Gagner. Sam, thank you so much for taking the time to join us. We're excited to have you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. We're going to get right into it. And I want to, throw it back a little bit to get started. Your childhood. You grew up with a dad that was in the NHL, a pretty long career, 15 years in the NHL. So you moved around a lot, but I'm sure you were always involved in hockey. So what was your childhood like, and was it really an option for you?
Yeah, I mean, my parents, they were going to allow me to do whatever I wanted, which was really cool. But, as a kid, you grow up idolizing your dad, and I wanted to do what he did. So it's pretty cool to be able to follow in his footsteps. I obviously owe a lot to my parents and for everything they've done for me. So, to have had the career I've had and I think I'm coming up on the same amount of games as my dad. So, all those things are really cool and something I really cherish.
I think, and I'm going off the top of my head,
That's always
I think
dangerous.
you're 18 games away from matching his. I think it was 946 games or something.
Yeah,
he
that
played in
sounds
the
right.
league,
Yeah.
and you're at like 928.
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah.
Well, good. Livonia Public Schools.
Yeah.
With that said, though, I want to take back, because yesterday, or Monday, I should say, a lot of people asked you about Filip Zadina, and because you pointed out you were drafted 6th overall in 2007 by the Edmonton Oilers.
Yeah.
And he was obviously drafted by the Red Wings in 2018, 6th overall. Both iconic franchises. The difference is, obviously, Detroit has long been established in the original six, as we know, but Edmonton obviously has had some very, very good teams, and Wayne Gretzky and all that. But I want to go back to that moment, because you said something, hey, I was a 6th overall too.
Yeah.
What was it like? Because I've always heard from players, virtually everybody that makes the NHL says, I was a big scorer in junior. I was a big scorer.
Yeah.
I get to this level and I got to find where my game is going to translate best. Was it difficult for you? Was there a lot of pressure? You're Dave Gagner's kid, you're 6th pick, and you're in Edmonton, which is a huge hockey market.
Yeah, for sure. There's parts of it that are hard, and there's pressure involved, and you learn to navigate it. I think, you come in, you want to establish yourself as a good player, and then you want to help the team turn it around too. So, I understand obviously what Z is going through. Having been through it, I remember looking back, and he's a young guy, right? And.
Right.
And, you see some guys coming in and having great rookie seasons and everyone talking about them, and you're sitting and you're like, well, I'm the same age as them,
Right.
but I played a few years, and I'm sure Z's going through that same situation now, and he puts a lot of pressure on himself to produce. And, but he's a great kid and a great player, works really hard. So, he's going to continue to improve, and it's fun to watch.
Who did you lean on? Was it your dad? I mean, you had the advantage of having a father. I know Phil's dad is a coach in the Czech Republic, but I mean, was that really in maybe some trying times as you were finding your way through this league? Your dad's a phone call away.
Yeah, I mean, I'm so fortunate to have that advantage. My dad was a 1st-round pick as well, and then, he didn't really establish himself in the NHL until he was, 22 years old. So he went through his ups and downs playing in the American League early in his career, and took a little bit to establish himself, and got an opportunity in Minnesota, and never really looked back. So I think there's going to be adversity throughout your career at different times. For some guys it happens early, for some guys it happens late. I think they're all great learning experiences that help you not only in hockey but in life. And I'm thankful for what I've been through. And anytime you can use adversity as a teacher, it's a great thing.
Sam, part of your role on this Red Wings team is that veteran presence, right, on and off the ice. And with a guy like Filip Zadina, do you give him advice? Has he leaned on you in any way?
Yeah, I mean, I try to. I think having been through the experience before, it does help. I know personally you have to go through some of these experiences on your own and, learn how to navigate them. But I understand what all of our young players are feeling, because I've been through it at different times, and it's important to keep your confidence and have some perspective. It's not always going to go great, and then sometimes it is going great and it's going to come back down to earth. So you have to learn how to handle the ups and downs of a season, and I think our guys for the most part are doing a great job and learning on the fly and handling it really well.
I know you're on a line right now with Joe Veleno and Giovanni Smith. Joe, obviously a number 1 pick, 30th overall. Giovanni, I think, taken in the second round. Do you communicate during the course of the game? It's such a fast game, and you're always out there, and the puck bounces, so you have to improvise a lot. I'm kind of curious, are you constantly trying to coach them during a game, or is it on the bench or in between periods, or once the game goes, we just adapt to the game comes to us and we just adapt to it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you want to get in the way of natural instinct, but I do try and talk to them as much as I can and help out in different ways, whether it be preparing for the game or in the game, just being in the right spots and being accountable to your line mates, your teammates, all those different types of things. So I try to be vocal. But ultimately, I think the best teacher is to lead by example and go about your business and try and be a professional every day. And it's a really hard league to be consistent in, but it's about handling the process as best you can and trying to help out your teammates as they navigate through it.
So not only are your line mates 2 very young Red Wings players here, but there's so many on this team. You mentioned the success that some are having, and Lucas Raymond and Mo Sider. We talked about Philip Zadina. Pius Suter is a young guy. How much fun is it to be a part of something like this? And just know that you are a part of it. You are a part of what they're building and what their future is going to hold.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, it's always fun to see how they're kind of, you become friends with them and you want to see them have success, and it's nice to see their careers unfold. And you look at some of the seasons that guys are having first year in the league. It's really impressive, and like you said, it's really fun to be a part of.
I do have to ask him. I want to know what it's like off the ice with these guys, right? Like, how much do you guys actually have in common? Where's your common ground aside from hockey?
Yeah, I mean. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I mean, I'm still I'm 32 years old, and I've got kids of my own, but I still feel like I still feel pretty young, and right. I'm having fun with them. I mean, you hear stories of stuff they do kind of on the road or at home or whatever. I mean, they were talking the other day about they had a Nerf war in their apartment building, and they're just running around to their different apartment, in their complex, shooting each other with Nerf guns, and it's just it kind of makes you laugh. I can't remember the last time I had a Nerf gun in my hand, so it's those situations are it's fun to kind of just to be among that group, and it does keep you feeling young.
32 isn't old, but
no, I know.
It is not old. You
it's
just
funny.
are on a team with 19-year-olds.
It's funny in athlete terms. It's like, once you hit 30, it's like, he's on the back nine, and it's like I still feel like I got a lot left.
You bring up obviously Sider and Raymond, but. Is there a bit of a generational gap, or are you TikToking or whatever with those guys too? Are you, bouncing around?
I actually made a reference the other day to something on TikTok, and Mo Sider was like, you know what that is, and I'm like, well, I'm not I'm not a grandpa. Of course, I have Instagram and I try and keep up. But yeah, obviously there is some stuff that goes over my head that they do, but that's just part of it.
Nick Leddy went viral on TikTok this year. I don't know if you heard about that. Well, you might be next.
I didn't. I heard Mo and him talking about something like that, but I know I don't keep up with the viral trends, but I know what's going on a little bit.
So Sam, you've been around the league a bit, right? Detroit obviously being your latest stop, and you've got a beautiful family, by the way. Wife and kids
Thank
are
you.
very beautiful.
Yeah.
And what do you guys like about Detroit?
Yeah.
What's fun about being here?
Yeah, it's been great. I mean, we feel really fortunate that we've had an opportunity to play in a lot of different places and see some different cultures and yeah. I mean, we've really enjoyed our time here. I think the people here are very friendly. Obviously, hockey is a really important thing, and they love the game here, which has been incredible. And yeah, I mean, just kind of. My 6-year-old loves the school. He loves being in hockey here, so it's been great. Our family is loving it, and hopefully we can continue to be here in future years.
I hope you don't mind. I meant to tell you this earlier too. I just started calling you Sammy G one day, and
Okay.
so is that good? Like,
Yeah,
is
that's
that an
fine.
okay
Yeah,
name?
yeah.
I kind of do it to everyone though, don't I?
don't-
Right. Well, Daniela screams it out.
Call me
though.
whatever you like.
I do.
Yeah.
I do. I
When you
do.
score a goal or you're doing something out on the ice, she's screaming, "Sammy G!"
Right on. Okay.
I do it with Tommy G too.
Tell you, Tommy, it must
Danny
be the
D,
G.
Okay, yeah.
Joey
I think for-
V.
Yeah.
I do. Yeah.
Yeah. Call me whatever you
Okay.
like.
All right. So that works for you.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Last question from me. Last serious question from me. Obviously, the goal for every NHL team is to get to the postseason and make the playoffs. But whether that happens or not this year for the Red Wings, what strides have you seen this team take?
Yeah, I think we're growing. I think we're a better offensive team than we were last year, which is a good thing. I think we still got to make strides defensively and playing in the other team's end a little bit more. Our goaltending's been really good, so that obviously helps. But yeah, we're making strides, and ultimately we want to be a playoff team, and we want to be a team that contends and gives ourselves a chance to win Stanley Cups. And there's a process into doing that, and I think for the most part we're doing the right things. We're building, and it's a fun thing to be a part of.
This has kind of been an odd year. It was going to be an Olympics. There is going to be an Olympics. It's just not going to be with NHL players. Last year, 500 fans and maybe 1,200. It was just an odd year. Going through what you went through last year as a player and as a team, is it made no matter what comes your way this year, you guys are mentally prepared for it? That it's all about hockey and taking care of ourselves, certainly, but that going through last year has made you much better prepared for whatever happens this year.
Yeah, I mean, you have to learn to adapt and be flexible, and I've always felt like there's different challenges every season, regardless of what's going on, and that's been one of the cool things about navigating the league and your career and all that, and then with what's happened the last couple of years, obviously it's a completely different animal, but yeah, we're doing our best to get through it and to adapt. We understand that we're very fortunate, obviously, to be continually getting to do what we love to do, and our lives haven't been disrupted nearly as much as some people. So you just kind of go with the flow and try and handle it the best way you can. And I think for the most part we've done a pretty good job, and we're happy to be playing.
Do you miss not having the media in the room? I'm sure that must be.
Yeah,
Don't answer that.
That's
honestly.
the thing I miss the most.
Yeah,
for sure.
really, yeah. Just guys like me sauntering in and coming up to you and just bantering away.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, Sam, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks so much.
And thank all of you for tuning in to another edition of The Word on Woodward. We'll see you next time.